Scarlet Spider, Scarlet Spider, does whatever that Spider-Man can. He wears a hoodie because he's cool. Why a hoodie? Because he's cool. Beat it, Parker. Ben Reilly's the Spider-Man. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series, Scarlet Spider. Yeah, there's been a lot of really great Marvel Legends coming out lately, but let me tell you, I am quite the mark for Scarlet Spider. I love him. It is one of my all-time favorite Spider-Man costumes, and I know it's kind of ridiculous. He's wearing a blue hoodie, for goodness sakes, but you know what? I love it. I have always loved it, and we have always had a serious lack of really cool Scarlet Spider action figures, so this one is long overdue, and I am so excited that it's finally here. Let's take a look at it. As you can see, it comes in that window box packaging we've seen all the recent Marvel Legends figures come inside of. Fully showcases the action figure within, along with the Rhino Build-A-Figure pieces. We got 2 Rhino Heads in this box, as you can see. And when you flip this around to the back side, you get an image of Scarlet Spider along with a short description and a look at all the other figures in this current wave with their corresponding Rhino Build-A-Figure parts. Alright, let's get this guy outside of the box and take a look at him. I really love the look of this figure. He's got a great body because you can see he's got a very slender build. Something that they've really been getting right with a lot of the Spider-Man figures lately, I feel. So he's got the very skinny, slender build, exactly as you would expect Spider-Man or his clone, Ben Reilly, to have. And I just love the overall design of this guy. His costume is a pretty much solid red, but it does seem like that there's some nice kind of color shading in there. It's not too dark of a shade, but it definitely doesn't look like it's just a plain red plastic. I mean, it looks like it's painted and it looks really nicely done. Then, of course, especially on that hoodie. Now, the reason I'm so happy about this, you guys might remember if you've been collecting Marvel Legends or Spider-Man Classics for a long time now. In the Toy Biz era of Spider-Man Classics, we were shown this awesome prototype of Scarlet Spider, which had this really gorgeous sculpted-on hoodie, and the figure looked fantastic. And then when he was finally released at KB Toy Stores, well, he looked a lot different. He had a cloth hoodie that was the wrong color blue, the sculpting just didn't look as good, so I feel like it's a little bit of vindication now. We finally have the Scarlet Spider figure that I have always wanted. The sculpted hoodie looks awesome. It's the proper color light blue. I love the hood that's sculpted around his neck. You can see the drawstrings kind of hanging there. We got the black spider emblem. When you flip it around to the backside, you've got the hood that's actually laying across his back. It looks awesome. Of course, he's also got his signature belt, which was something else that was missing from the original one. Brown belt, silver pieces on there, silver buckle with the red dot in the middle. The paint job is a little sloppy on mine, but it's not terrible. I mean, I wish it was a little bit cleaner than that, but the sculpt itself is pretty nice. Around the wrists, we have his signature web shooters, which were a lot different than Spidey's because he wore his on the outside of his costume. And these are nice because they're silver with the black lines on it, look just like they did in the books. And down at the ankles, he's got those pouches because, you know, the 90s! Pouches! Why not? This costume is really, really silly, but I love it. To this day, it's still one of my absolute favorite Spidey costumes. Also got to talk about this head sculpt because look at the eyes. I love it. Big white eyes with the thin black lines tracing it. They look fantastic. The white paint is a little sloppy on the left eye. You can kind of see the strokes in there, but I love the size of the eyes. The overall mask looks fantastic on this guy. I love the look of this figure. So let's talk articulation with him here. That head's on a nice ball joint, which is also hinged at the neck. Great range of motion there. You can roll it around. You can get him to look up and down for a nice range of motion. We got those good ball joints at the shoulders, which are the good ratchet joints, so they're very, very tight. The arms can go outwards, forwards, and backwards. Swivels at the bicep. Double joints at the elbows there. We got swivels at the wrist, as well as hinge joints at the wrists. So great range of motion in the hands there. We got the ab crunch articulation, which is also a ratchet joint, so you can move the torso up and down. You can also swivel him at the waist. You'll notice that they do have notches in the sculpt of the hoodie, which is for the belt there, but it doesn't hinder the articulation. You can still swivel the waist side to side. You got the hinge-like joints at the thighs there, so legs can go slightly outwards. They can move forwards, backwards for a good range of motion in that direction. Swivels at the thigh cut, double joints at the knees, and then you've got the nice ankle joint that allows the foot to move forwards and backwards, as well as pivot side to side. So we should be able to get some really nice agile poses out of this guy, especially when you pair him with something like a flight stand if you've got it. And to add even more to that, he's got interchangeable hands, something we've been seeing with a lot of the cool Spidey figures lately. We've got the fists, which are the hands I've got on the figure right now, but we can all easily pop those off. They're just on little pegs there. Got to give it a nice tug. Oh, they're in there kind of tight. There you go. Pull those out. I also want to note that the web shooters are separate. You can see that. You can pull those off if you want to. They're just on the wrists there. So in its place, we can plug in the open hands, which we've seen with most recent Spider-Man figure there. Good for holding pizza slices. And of course, he's also got a pair of thwipping hands, so you can get some great thwipping poses. So yeah, you switch out those hands, you can mix and match them, you got some great articulation there. Pose them with a flight stand, we can get some awesome Scarlet Spider poses. And of course, final accessory, I mentioned it while we were looking at him in the box, he does come with both of the Rhino heads for the Rhino Build-A-Figure, so that way you've got the option, if you build Rhino, which head you want to use. Alright guys, it's comparison time! We gotta look at this guy alongside that original Toy Biz KB Toys exclusive Scarlet Spider, which was so different than I wanted it to be, but you know, I loved it anyway. I adored that figure because I was such a big Scarlet Spider fan, but man, look at these two side by side! I love this new figure! And how about this? Scarlet Spider Palooza! Yeah, this is gonna be a great section on my shelf. Overall, I am really happy with this figure. I mean, yes, personally, I really like the Scarlet Spider. It's one of my favorite costumes, so I'm going to be partial to this guy, but I do love him. I think he turned out great. I like the articulation. I like the interchangeable hands that we've been seeing on all the Spider-Man figures. I feel like pairing this guy with the recent Spider-Man 2099 and that awesome Spider-Man figure we recently got with the pizza slice and everything, I feel like those are three incredibly good Spider-Man figures, and they're also three of my favorite Spidey costumes. Now, if we can get a really awesome updated black costume Spider-Man that fits in line with these guys, and maybe an armored Spider-Man, that would be my ultimate favorite Spider-Man costume team right there in action figure form. So fingers crossed! So this brand new Scarlet Spider figure is hitting store shelves right now. So happy hunting, my friends, and until next time.